Hi dear students, in the last class we had seen that Beni Pishi lost her voice and the entire village, for the entire village it was a strange thing because it is impossible that Beni Pishi not talking. And the villagers of Beni Pishi, they came to Beni Pishi's house and they asked the reason for Beni Pishi's silence. Then Beni Pishi did not give any answer. So in today's class, we will discuss the possible reasons for the silence of Beni Pishi. Take page number 100. Ramu, the village barber, went one step further. I know what has happened, he said wisely. The last class we had seen that many people came to Beni Pishi's house and they were asking Beni Pishi about the silence, the reasons for the silence. But Beni Pishi did not speak and did not tell what is the reason for her silence. So here comes Ramu, the village barber, with the reasons for Beni Pishi's silence. And he says that he knows what happened to Beni Pishi. Then what? We all shouted in unison. So all the villagers, all the people together, they shouted, oh, what happened to Beni Pishi? When village barber Ramu said that I know the reason for Beni Pishi's silence, then all the villagers, they shouted that, what happened to Beni Pishi? Though none of us had much faith upon Ramu's understanding, today was different. The people in the village, they did not trust Ramu very much, but on that day the thing was different and no one trusted the Ramu's understanding, but on that day it was different. They trusted and they were ready to hear what Ramu wants to say. Today we were ready to listen to the silliest man on earth to enlighten us on the theories relating to Beni Pishi's silence. So the village barber said to the villagers that I know the reason. Then the villagers shouted, what is the reason? What is the reason for Beni Pishi's silence? But normally the villagers, they did not trust the village barber Ramu, but on that day it was different and they were ready to listen to the silliest, a simple person on earth to enlighten them. Enlighten means to inform, to give knowledge. So they were ready to listen to village barber Ramu in order to know the truth or the theories behind the silence of Beni Pishi. Then Ramu says to the villagers, well, something like this had once happened to Dinu Mondal in my native village. Ramu whispered to us. So Ramu said to the villagers that the same thing had happened to one of my friends in my native village and his name is Dinu Mondal. Dinu Mondal also lost his voice one day suddenly. So the same thing happened to one person in my village and his name is Dinu Mondal, and based on that I can say that what happened to Beni Pishi. I think I know what has happened to Pishi. I think the neem tree has something to do with this. He sighed deeply again. So he knows that, he says that he knows the reason behind Beni Pishi's silence because he got already one experience from his native village that one of his friend Dinu Mondal, he lost his voice. The same way, based on the same experience, village barber Ramu says that I know the reason. The reason is that the neem tree has something to do with this. That means the neem tree has got some connection with the silence of Beni Pishi. I hope that all of you know about the neem tree. And the village barber Ramu, he says that it is because of the neem tree or something connected with the neem tree that caused the silence of Beni Pishi. Then this time we were really stumped. The neem tree, do you really mean it? Then all the people there in the village, they were really stumped. Stumped means shocked. All the people were shocked and they asked, the neem tree, do you really mean it? Is it neem tree? And how it is possible that neem tree can be the reason for the silence of Beni Pishi? The entire village asked. Then Ramu started to explain how it is connected. The silence of Beni Pishi and neem tree are connected. Can't you see? Don't you understand? It is the ghost on the neem tree. So there is a ghost on the neem tree and because of that ghost, Beni Pishi became silent. He has cast a spell on Pishi. This is why she has lost her voice. So according to the village barber Ramu, the reason is that there is the silence of Beni, Pishi and the neem tree are connected because there is a ghost on the neem tree, and that ghost or the evil spirit that cast spell on Beni Pishi, and because of that Beni Pishi lost her voice. Cast spell means deliver evil spirit or deliver evil thing on a person. So the neem tree and the silence of Beni Pishi are connected because there is a ghost on the neem tree, and that ghost or the evil spirit that cast a spell on Beni Pishi, so she lost the voice. I know for sure Dinu Mondal had also once lost his voice like this. It is all the conspiracy of the ghost on the neem tree. So here also he is based on the earlier experience only. He says Dinu Mondal lost his voice because of the ghost on the neem tree. So I am sure that Beni Pishi also lost her voice because of the ghost of the neem tree, and that ghost and that evil spirit cast spell on Beni Pishi. And it is all the conspiracy. Conspiracy means the secret plan. So according to village barber Ramu, it is all the secret plans of the evil spirit and the ghost which caused the silence of Beni Pishi. Then why would the ghost try to cast a spell on Beni Pishi? Asked Aslam Chacha, scratching his head in a somewhat baffled manner. Baffled means confused. So the Aslam Chacha, one of the elders in the village, he asked why, what is the reason ghost tried to cast a spell on Beni Pishi, and he was in a confused state. That is the reason he was scratching his head and asked what is the reason why the ghost tried to cast a spell on Beni Pishi. Then in an answer to that, the village barber Ramu says that, do you teach at the village school with this kind of intelligence? You never teach such kind of things in your villages, and you teach some kind of science, maths and other topics, but not such kind of superstitious beliefs. That is why you do not know anything about the ghost or the evil spirit. Ramu said triumphantly. Triumphantly means with great satisfaction, because he was very much satisfied because at least some of the villagers started to believe him, and some of the villagers they started to consider his words. So the Ramu says that it is because of the ghost, but the elder there in the village, Aslam Chacha, he was so much confused, and he is asking what is the reason why the evil spirit has cast a spell on Beni Pishi. Then in reply to that, Ramu says that you never teach such a kind of superstitious beliefs in your schools. That is the reason you do not know anything about this. We had seen a question asked by Aslam Chacha, why would the ghost try to cast a spell on Beni Pishi? The answer by Ramu now we will discuss. Who went last Friday with open hair under the neem tree to collect berries? Yeah, I had told her so many times, Pishi, please don't pass under the haunted tree with your hair open. Ghosts do not like to see humans defying them. They would surely cast an evil spell on you one of these days. So that is the reason. The answer to Aslam Chacha we can find here. Why the ghost or the evil spirit has cast spell on Beni Pishi. She went under the neem tree without covering her head. So here Ramu says, who went last Friday with open hair under the neem tree to collect berries. So the last Friday, Beni Pishi went under the neem tree without covering her head. And what is the speciality of that particular neem tree? It was haunted by a ghost. Haunted means it is affected by an evil spirit, or it is under the control of evil spirit. So Beni Pishi, without covering her head, she went under the neem tree in order to collect the berries. And that same neem tree was haunted by the evil spirit. So Ramu said to Beni Pishi on that day, Pishi, please don't pass under the haunted tree with your hair open. The reason is that ghosts or the evil spirits, they do not like to see humans defying them. Defying means disobeying. So the ghost or the evil spirits, they don't like that the humans being disobeying evil spirit or the ghost. If a person goes under the neem tree without covering his or her head, then that was considered as disobeying ghost. So here we can understand that Pishi went under the neem tree without covering her head. So the village barber, he said that don't go under the haunted neem tree without covering your head with the open hairs, because the ghost or the evil spirit, they will consider that the human beings are disobeying them, and if they find that the humans are disobeying them, then the ghost or the evil spirit, they will cast spell on the person. They would surely cast an evil spell on you one of these days. On that day itself, the village barber said to Beni Pishi that if you are going under the neem tree with the open hairs, then the ghost will or the evil spirits will cast spell on you and they will punish you. And what was the reply from Beni Pishi to village barber, that we will see now. Do you know how she reacted to my advice? Ramu says that how she reacted to my advice. I had given a good advice to Beni Pishi in order to save her from the punishment of the evil spirit. Then do you know what was the response of Beni Pishi? She simply laughed. Now she must have understood what it is to show your guts to the dead ones. So when Ramu gave one advice, Beni Pishi, she did not take it seriously and she just laughed. And now Ramu says, and now she might have understood that what it is to show your guts to the dead ones. It is not good to show your guts to the dead ones and the evil spirit. So this is the answer given by Ramu to Aslam Chacha, and here he says that the reason why the ghost has cast spell on Beni Pishi. Then the people were listening to Ramu. Then we did not know whether to trust Ramu. The people, they were confused whether to trust Ramu or not. The ghost on the neem tree casting a magic spell on Pishi to make her silent did not seem to convincing an explanation, especially to me. So for the many people, those who were gathered there, for them it was not a convincing explanation, or it was not a reliable explanation, and many of them, they did not trust Ramu and they did not trust the explanation given by the Ramu, especially the narrator, especially to me. And the narrator says that many of the people, those who were gathered, they did not trust, and the explanation given by Ramu, it was not convincing, and it was not convincing to them, especially to me. And why the narrator says that it was not convincing to the narrator, that we will see now. As unknown to my elders, I had often climbed that very neem tree with open trusses and all to escape from the ire of my father. So the narrator says that in order to escape from the anger of the father, the narrator herself, she climbed many times on the neem tree, and then but she did not lose her voice. So that is the reason why the narrator did not trust the words or the explanation given by Ramu. Why the narrator didn't trust the explanation given by the village barber Ramu? Because she herself had many times climbed on the neem tree with open hairs in order to escape from the anger of her father, but she never lost her voice. So I hope that this part is clear to you. So today we discuss the Ramu, the village barber. He comes with an explanation of the silence of Beni Pishi, and he says that it has got some connection with the neem tree. The ghost or the evil spirit on the neem tree, it cast a spell on Beni Pishi and she lost the voice. And then one of the elders in the village, Aslam Chacha, asked, why would the ghost try to cast a spell on Beni Pishi? Then in an answer to that, the person, village barber, says that because Beni Pishi went under the neem tree with the open hairs, and that neem tree was haunted by the ghost or the evil spirit, and they don't like to see humans disobeying them. So when Beni Pishi went under the neem tree without covering her head, it was something disobeying the evil spirit and the ghost. So they cast spell on Beni Pishi and she lost her voice. And but this explanation was not convincing for many of the villagers, especially to the narrator, because she herself had many times climbed on the neem tree without covering her head. Then also she did not lose her voice. So I hope that it is clear, and in the next class we will discuss the rest of the story. Thank you. Have a nice day.